Good morning, boys and girls. Tell them good morning.
Good morning, boys and girls.
We've got some chickens. Luke, come here. We've got some chickens, Charlotte. You gonna help hold the chickens? And these are just a few of Charlotte and Luke's babies. So we've got a book about chicks. I guess Jingle's gonna listen to the story too. Come here, Lukey. This book's called Chicks in Salsa. There were grumblings in the hen house of Nuthatcher Farm. The chickens were tired of chicken feed. The rooster took it upon himself to solve this problem. Jingle, you're big a baby as the chicks. Mrs. Nuthatcher, the farmer's wife, had started watching cooking shows in the afternoons. The rooster was perched on a fence post outside the farmhouse. Gonna have some runaway chicks, Charlotte. Farmhouse window when he discovered the solution to his problem. Salsa. Led by the rooster, the chickens crept into the garden where they took tomatoes and uprooted onions. That night, the chickens ate chips and salsa, though nobody was quite certain where the chickens got the chips. The tasty tang of tomatoes and onions hung over the barnyard, and the rooster said, "Ole!" Very soon there were mumblings at the duck pond of Nuthatcher Farm. Inspired by the chickens, the ducks decided they were tired of fish. With the rooster's encouragement, the ducks dipped into the garden where they selected cilantro and gathered garlic. That night, the ducks ate guacamole, though nobody was quite certain where the ducks got the avocados. The spicy scent of garlic and cilantro hung over the barnyard, and the ducks said, "Ole, Jingle,
Ole.
ole." The next morning, there were rumblings in the pig pen of Nuthatcher Farm. Overwhelmed by the enticing aromas, the pigs decided they were tired of slop. While the rooster distracted Farmer Nuthatcher, the pigs plodded into the garden where they borrowed beans and chopped chilies. That night, the pigs ate nachos, though nobody was quite certain where the pigs got the nacho cheese sauce. The delightful deliciousness of cheese and chilies hung over the barnyard, and the pigs said, "Ole!"
Ole.
As everyone knows, when a passion for southwestern cuisine takes hold of farm animals and so many sumptuous, spicy, savory scents collide in the barnyard air, it can only lead to one thing: fiesta! The rooster got things organized, then returned to his fence post to watch for a good enchilada recipe. The horses decorated the barn. The bull practiced his Mexican hat dance, though nobody was quite certain where the bull got the sombrero. And the chickens, ducks, and pigs snuck into the garden, but all of their spicy southwestern supplies were gone. The scallions had been stolen. The peppers had been pilfered. The limes had been lifted. Jingle. But there were slurpings in the kitchen of Nuthatcher Farm, stirred by the succulent smells in the barnyard. Mrs. Nuthatcher had decided to make tamales for the county fair. A saucy sweetness hung over the farmhouse kitchen, and Mrs. Nuthatcher said, "Ole!"
Ole.
Disappointed, the animals canceled the fiesta. That evening, the chickens ate...
Babies.
Yeah, there's the babies. The chickens ate their chicken feed, the ducks ate their fish, and the pigs ate their slop. But while the Nuthatchers were at the fair, the rooster crept into the kitchen and borrowed a French cookbook. The next morning, the rooster ate crepes with white grapes in the champagne sauce, though nobody was quite certain where the rooster learned how to read. Can a rooster read? A satisfied smell stretched over the rooster's beak, and the rooster said, "Ooh la la." Ooh la la. And look, guys, Remember how when we were doing technical text, we talked about lots of times authors add things to a fiction story? Obviously, this was a fantasy fiction story, but the author included a recipe for hog wild nachos, guacamole, and Rooster's roasted salsa. Which do you like? Do you like nachos, guacamole, salsa? What's your favorite fiesta food? We like salsa in our house. I make a lot of salsa every summer, and that's one of our favorites.
Oh, yummy, yummy, yummy.
So what do you think, Charlotte? Want to show them your chickies? Show them your chicks. Show the boys and girls your chickens. You like them? All right, so we'll talk to you later, guys. See ya. Bye-bye.